Hello again and welcome everyone. Well, I'm getting started on our next project here, and that's the 1537 scale USS Reliant. And basically what I've started to do here is starting to work on my lighting, and I've decided what I'm going to do on this one this time around is I'm going to use some of Model Man Tom's LED tape, and I'm going to light these areas here at the side of the rear part of the saucer section and the front part here, which I'll show you right here is this area right here with this LED tape. And I've just made these little brackets and glued them down in here out of styrene basically, and this tape will get mounted on here and I'll be able to just wire it up real convenient. I'm going to make the same type of a setup over here on this side, so we'll basically have this whole perimeter here lit up really nice and even. I'm going to go with the warm white LEDs on this one, so it'll give that nice kind of lit cabin look instead of the bright, super bright lights that you normally see. And then up here at the front around the perimeter there's these groupings of windows. There isn't a constant row of windows all the way around that. There's kind of groupings, so they're maybe like 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches long, spaced apart, that go around the perimeter of the saucer here, and I'll be doing that with some individual LEDs, probably 2 in a group, spaced out evenly around that perimeter to light up those individual windows. And then some other lighting in the areas where the crystal here at the bottom and the top need to get lit, and the top of the bridge, and some of those other areas. And I'm also going to be using quite a bit of aftermarket products on this particular build. I've ordered everything. It should be here in the next few days, but in the meantime I'm just kind of get some of this preliminary work done. But I've ordered the Aftermarket Aztec Kit from Round 2 Models for the entire Aztec decal setup on this. That makes this model look really nice. And then their Paragraphix has come out with a brand new kit for this model of photo etch parts and a window drilling guide. And basically what that is you get a lot of really nice detail parts, such as this little grill here at the back. You actually get the window bays for the officer's lounge area at the back of the bridge area here, and some of the other small details on various parts of the ship. But the really cool thing is that the stencils that are included are drilling guides, and you basically tape them in place, and once you've got that all done, you're able to go in here and drill your windows out really precisely, and so they're exactly where they're going to be supposed to be, and including the round. And then if you're familiar with the ship, some of these window ports are kind of oval shaped like they are on the refit Enterprise. And you have the same thing, the same stencils that go all the way around the saucer edge here, and it allow you to put your windows really precise. And so that's going to be a really nice little kit. And then we're going with the besides the regular internal base lighting for this thing, I've ordered the VoodooFX Starship navigation lights board for this model, which gives you all the flashing beacon lights, your navigation lights, your individual white beacons flashing at the rear. So this is really going to be really nice. And then probably for the warp nacelles, I'll probably go with some more of this LED tape in the blue. And again, that's available through Model Man Tom or Modeler's Brand Supplies. You've seen me talk about that a lot. I used it extensively in my Enterprise command bridge buildup, and that stuff is just really, really good stuff to work with. It's just so convenient to be able to put this in and have all these lights done with just basically soldering 2 wires and then connecting it to power. So what I'm going to be doing then is working out, since those lights need to run at 7 volts, I'll be working out something kind of similar to I showed you my little LED tutorial thing that I did a little while ago. So I'm going to set all my individual LEDs to run up at 7 volts, and I'll go back and figure out what kind of resistors I need. And when I get to that point and start putting this stuff in, I'll show all that to you guys. And then this is my power supply. Now, you can run that on a battery, but I like to have these things turned on a lot, so batteries just aren't good for me. Now, this is a nice little power supply. It's around $20. It's rated at, it's rated at 1500 milliamps. And the nice thing about it is that this has got a really nice voltage selector on it, so you can basically set this up a lot of ways. It's got 3 volts, 4.5, 6 volts, 7.5, 9 volts, and 12 volts, DC of course. And I've used these for quite a while, so they're really good. They hold up really well. And again, I have a lot of my models lit a lot, so that's what LEDs are for. I mean, they'll run thousands and thousands of hours if you set them up right. And we set them up. So this allows me to set this thing up. I'll run it at 7.5 volts, and that'll give me a really nice, just the right amount of light coming out of these LEDs on this LED tape. I've already played around with that when I was setting up the bridge model kit, and as far as running them at different voltages, seeing what kind of brightness they put out, so I'm very familiar with that. And I'll get a really nice look around the perimeter of this, and I'll just, as I said, I'll wire up the LEDs to match that, and we'll be all set. But yeah, and then we've also got, let's see, we've got, I mean, that's just a lot of stuff going into this model. I'm going to make a nice, I'm going to go with a really nice wooden base this time, and what I plan on doing is hopefully wire up my circuits so that I can do some things such as I want to be able to shut my my hull lights off and my warp engines off separately, and then at the top here where this little, I call it the roll bar, but where the photon torpedo launcher is in the top, I want to put a little button in there where I can turn those off and on. On my original model, I've got that set up where they're always on all the time, and I kind of wish I would have done it where they were able to be turned off and on. So that's going to be something a little different on this one. So this is just going to be a really cool model. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is something, a little attention to detail that I've gone and kind of looked at myself over the years on the Reliant. If you pay a lot of attention to that ship as it's shown in the movie, one of the things that I've seen hundreds of Reliant model kits built up, and really nice ones, including a really nice Voodoo kit that's out there, a really large scale one. I think it's like 350 scale or maybe even bigger than that. And one of the things that they constantly miss when they light this model is if you look at the Reliant, and it's something that they did on purpose in the movie. If you go and watch the movie, The Wrath of Khan, watch the special features of that movie where they talk about building that model, the actual studio model. What they did up here at the top on the of the bridge area here is the forward lighting on that is done in red. That little window there at the front, and also here at the bottom of the sensor dome, they did two little red lights in there, and that was on purpose to give it a different look than the Enterprise. And it also, you know, red is kind of always parlayed with kind of sinister or evil looking, and they did that on purpose. If you pay close attention next time you're looking at the Reliant in the movie, you'll see that those little window ports there, the one at the very front of the bridge area here and the two at the bottom facing forward on the sensor dome are you see two individual red lights in there and one single kind of wide one up here at the front. So I'm going to do that on this model. I'm going to try to capture every detail of this thing, and it should really be interesting when it's done. So yeah, just one of the little things that are out there that I've kind of always wanted to do. So hopefully this is going to turn out good, and I'm pretty familiar with the Aztecs. I've already done that on one of these before, so they're not hard to work with at all. You just got to lay them down and then use some kind of a good decal setting solution so you get that really nice painted on look. And I'm glad I've already got one of these under my belt too, because I've got a little bit different idea of what shade of color I want to go with on that as well to get those Aztecs. I'm going to go with a little bit lighter shade of white than I used on that last one, so I can get those Aztecs to jump just a little bit more. So anyways, I hope you guys will enjoy this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll show you each one of those products as I get them in, and kind of give you a little demo, especially putting on that nice Paragraphix kit that's going to allow us to do these windows really nice. That's one of the challenges on this new model, by the way, is that I think I mentioned it in the review that I did of it. The old model that we had out there has these window ports already in place, and they're recessed, and they're kind of thick, so you could actually get a Dremel tool in there and kind of work with it, especially those oval shapes, and kind of know what you're doing and line them up straight. But without those being there anymore, that's going to be pretty difficult. So that little stencil kit is just the ticket for something like this, and I'm glad. I say this all the time, but I'm just really glad there's folks out there that are, you know, making this stuff available for us as this hobby. It's just so enjoyable, and have those kind of things out there to make your build a little bit better and a little bit easier. So again, until we see you on the next video, everybody, I'll be just continuing to do my little bit of work in here, get my preparation done. I'm gonna get my LEDs and then start hot gluing those in place, and when I start doing my wiring and everything, I'll show you how I'm gonna lay all that in there. And I've got to paint all this and prep it for light blocking and all that, but it should be coming along, and it's gonna be a little slow build on this one, a little gaps in between because there's a lot of painting and a lot of little fine detail I plan on doing. I want to really do the best Reliant I've ever done on this particular one. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you again for the next one. Until then, happy modeling, everybody.